I first found out about GrowBiz from friends actually. I can't remember exactly who it was, but used to meet a lot of artists and crafters around, and somebody mentioned GrowBiz. I'd also seen items on social media. So when I was going self-employed, I thought it would be a good idea to go and chat to them about what I had planned and ideas, just to see what support they could give me.
I didn't know what to expect when I first met Fiona McPhail, who was the facilitator at that time. As I had wanted to open a shop but didn't have any money, somebody suggested GrowBiz, so I put two and two together and thought that somebody was going to appear with a bag of money, and that clearly wasn't the case. And it was an interesting journey, just talking through what was involved with the business, and the facilitator made me come to the conclusion that yes, it was the way to go forward, and it certainly was.
GrowBiz offered me a number of different services, starting from one-to-one peer meetings, one-to-one with Jackie and her team, to other entrepreneurs who were in the same situation like me, to people who already did it for a few years, so mentoring. But one of the regular services I use is the exchange meetings and networking opportunities, where I can carry on and ask further questions which come into my mind.
Yes, very early on we went to GrowBiz. We'd already heard about it through the networks that we were building locally here in Eastern Perthshire. I met up with Jackie Brereton, and really from then on we started to get more and more involved in the various GrowBiz network events, all the support that they can give small businesses, and I think particularly the women's enterprise side of things is incredibly impressive.
Okay, so I think initially the networking events I would have attended most regularly were the women's enterprise, and I found those really useful just to meet other people who were in the same situation. So understanding that some of the things you found a challenge that other businesses found a challenge, and it was also just really finding out what other businesses were out there and if there was opportunities for collaboration. Types of events that I would attend for GrowBiz, I've gone to general networking events. I'll keep an eye on the calendar just to see what the topic is. So sometimes it's discussion groups or people speaking. And I love real life stories. I love the before and after. So I found that really useful. I find specialist training events that are free. We have so many really good training events. It's a matter of trying to get it in the calendar. So I use that as well. And there are some events that are orientated towards women as well, and that can be quite useful too. It's just a different dynamic. The other thing, GrowBiz has a really useful newsletter. It flags up resources, funding, training, all kinds of things that otherwise I probably would miss.
What else I think what I found particularly useful is the what I would call the intelligence of the network, and what information you find out about what's going on, what other people are doing, policy changes, issues around all of that kind of stuff, that gives a bigger picture to what is happening in business in rural areas, in addition to the very practical help that GrowBiz gives.
That's right, because quite often when we have said, oh, where would we find out about that? I've emailed GrowBiz and said, can you help us find this person or that person? And they've very quickly come back and said, oh yes, we know somebody that can help you with that.
One of them, such as the networking, where you meet people with who are undergoing similar problems, and you can chat about those, and also meeting people that you might be able to work with in the future. For example, I run the beaver canoe safaris with Piotr from Outdoor Explorer. And also they've pointed me in the direction of funding, so I've managed to get a few grants to help with a number of things, and the general business advice too.
GrowBiz has helped me by encouraging me and keeping me really motivated. It's also opened up new ideas for me that I hadn't even considered before, like grants and the awards, like how important awards are to your business and things like that. So I've
received mentoring from GrowBiz. We had a few problem areas I wanted a bit of support with, and I wanted to speak to people who knew what they were talking about, who'd actually had a business. So I got support through mentoring, and then the opportunity came up to train to be a mentor. So I'm doing that at the moment, so I'm putting something back. But there are more opportunities for me to get more mentoring back from GrowBiz. You never really stop. If your business is growing, you'll continue to need and give mentoring.
My mentor's really helped me just to talk about my ideas and aspirations, I suppose, for my business, what I'm trying to achieve. And she's helped me really focus on getting my priorities of what I want to do first, because there's lots of things I want to do and lots of ideas, but obviously I can't do them all at the same time. So she just helps. She asks some really good questions to make me think about what it is I want to do and how I can achieve that, or what planning I need to do. So it's been invaluable for that.
My favourite thing is probably the informality about it, but having said that, it is very professional, which you need as well. So they've got the balance perfect.
I will continue to use GrowBiz as my business grows, because I find they're really inspiring and they keep me really motivated. Any new ideas that I have, they always sort of back me up on them and show me, lead me, guide me in the right direction.
I assumed that everybody had a GrowBiz. I now realise that we're really lucky in Perthshire, and I'd be delighted if GrowBiz continues and can expand the services so other people in Scotland can get it too.